Hi guys, it's Alani. I wanted to walk you guys through how I have lost fat, toned up, and changed my mindset over these past few years because I know when I first started my fitness journey, I was overcomplicating literally everything and I was feeling like my days were a never-ending to-do list and I was just never happy with how I felt and how I looked. So I wanted to kind of help you guys shave some time off and not make the same mistakes that I did. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Alani. I'm a nutrition coach and I have been a bikini bodybuilder for the past 4 years, building a competitive physique to compete on stage. But truly my passion is nutrition and lifestyle and building a physique that I am proud of and doing so with a healthy lifestyle. I am now a nutrition coach and I have helped many girls that are probably very similar to you build a physique that they truly enjoy. So I want to share with you guys some of my biggest tips so that you guys can reach a physique that you enjoy, feel good every day, and not overcomplicate it like I did. So you're putting so much effort into this. I know that you are, but you're not seeing the results that you want to be seeing. And why is that? Like, what are we overlooking here? Honestly, so many of us overcomplicate it. A lot of us focus on the really small details where in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter as much as what I'm about to explain to you guys. Things like meal timing, certain food choices, supplements, what foods are good, what foods are bad, how much cardio you should be doing, instead of focusing on the basics that are actually going to make the changes that we want to be seeing. I'm the first one to say it. It is not easy, right? This journey is not going to be easy, but it is simple. And that is the biggest thing that I overlooked when I started, and I know 95% of you guys watching this are overlooking as well. But if you don't really know what you need to be doing, it's like, well, of course I'm going to overcomplicate it. I'm going to be doing everything that I can be, but I'm not focusing on the right things. So what do I need to be focusing on? That's exactly what I'm going to explain to you guys in this video. But in its simplest form, if you're wanting to build muscle and lose fat, which is what most of us are, if you're wanting to get that fit, toned physique that I see a lot of girls are trying to attain, truly the foundation of this is consistent nutrition, which we're going to talk about more, and a little bit of weight training. So if there's just 3 little things that we can focus on first that will make a difference in your physique, make sure you're getting enough protein for your body's needs. Strength train 3 to 5 times a week. You don't need to be going 6 or 7 times a week, and create a slight calorie deficit if fat loss is your goal. But first of all, I know that can be really confusing because it's like, okay, how am I supposed to be eating? That's one of the things that I do for my clients is I have them go through our nutrition review. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I'll leave the application for coaching in the description, and basically I'll just look over what you guys are doing, how you're eating for 3 to 5 days, make some recommendations, tell you guys what would be holding you back from your goals so that you can actually get on track and make the progress that you want to be seeing. Second thing, and honestly this might be the most important thing, is you need to stop creating so many rules for yourself and putting yourself into this box. I honestly see all over my For You page all these other creators where they're like, I'm doing 45 minutes of Stairmaster every day, or the whole Pilates versus weightlifting debate, or all these different things where they're doing one thing and it's like, if you start doing this one thing, this is going to be the change that you've been waiting to see. But truly all those little things don't matter. There's not one thing or one right way where it's like, okay, if you do this versus this, you're going to magically build this physique that you've been wanting to build. It's really about changing your lifestyle, and that doesn't mean a huge overhaul of everything that you're doing, but again, it's focusing on the most important things. Getting your nutrition in check, weight training a few times so that you can actually build that muscle underneath. One thing that I always see in the fitness space is, oh, I switched from weight training because I got bulky. Truly, that is a problem with your nutrition and not a problem in which the way you are training. Find some movement that you enjoy. It doesn't matter the movement that you're doing. If you can get some weight training in, some resistance training in a few times a week to where you're building muscle and being strategic about your nutrition to where you're losing fat, you're going to be on your way towards building a physique that you actually enjoy, because you deserve to like the way that you look. You deserve to like the way that you feel because you're putting in all this effort. So it should pay off. It shouldn't be this thing where you're exhausted and all day you feel like you're checking off a million check boxes and not actually seeing any changes. And that's why it's so important to have a plan that actually works for you and it doesn't feel like it's resisting against you. That way you know that you're focusing on the right things every day and building a lifestyle that is healthy and bringing you closer to your goals, whatever that may be. And third thing, stop falling for all of these quick fixes, fad diets, things like keto. carnivore, animal-based, all these different things where they're just tying it all up, presenting it to you in a pretty package, and trying to sell you these little tiny quick fixes that aren't actually going to change anything. Again, this goes along with the last thing that I was just saying. You need to stop creating so many rules for yourself. That's why these things go viral, is it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna change this little thing and I'm gonna start living my life this way, and that's going to be the answer. When really you don't need this pretty package. You don't need this buzzword. What you need is a plan and a lifestyle that aligns with who you are and is going to get you closer to your goals. And one thing that I don't like about the word diet is that implies that it's short term, right? Like all these different things where it's like, okay, you can't have any carbs. You can't have anything processed. Those are all diets, and diets are implied as short term. Really, the goal should be building a healthy lifestyle, right? To where it's going to be sustainable, because you're going to follow these things for a short amount of time, and then you're going to get sick of it, and you're going to switch right back to what you were doing before because you didn't make any lasting changes, and you don't have an understanding of nutrition and training and what you should be doing in a day. Really, the things that matter, really the biggest thing that matters is nutrition as a whole, and doing so strategically to where you're reaching your goals. So if your primary goal is fat loss, you want to be making sure that you're having enough protein to fuel your body. That way you can retain the muscle that you do have, build a little bit more through weight training, and then be at a level where your body is burning more calories than you're consuming. That way you're losing a little bit of fat through this process and making a body composition change. It's super simple. So one thing that you can start doing is tracking your intake just for a few days to kind of get an understanding of what's actually in your food, because truly, scientifically, that is the only way that we have fat loss, is if we are in a calorie deficit. And I can make another video more in depth about that if you guys want to hear more about what goes into being in a calorie deficit, because truly that is the only way to lose weight. And while you're tracking your intake and making sure that you're having enough protein and staying within your ranges, make sure that you're aiming for about 80% whole foods, but leave in 20% of foods that you enjoy. If you wake up with a sweet tooth and you're like, I really want a cookie, have the cookie. There's no need to put all these rules into place. It's just having an understanding of what your nutrition should look like. The key is truly making the food that you're having enjoyable and not overcomplicating it to where it feels restrictive. That's how you build a lifestyle rather than a diet. Fourth thing, and this is something that I always tell my clients over and over and over again, is ditch the all or nothing mentality. Many of us feel like we've ruined all of our progress if we have one bad meal, a bad week, a bad weekend, miss a workout, any of these things, and that could not be further from the truth. And I know I sound like a broken record. I keep talking about how building a healthy lifestyle is how you actually make sustainable changes, but this goes along with that too. If you have a super rigid plan and then you fall off one day, you're just gonna revert into your old habits if the plan isn't working for you. And that's just going to get us into that cycle of starting over and over again. Where what you really should be doing, if say it's Christmas or it's Thanksgiving, you're on vacation, and you have a short lapse of time where you're not in your normal habits. Best thing that you can do is not over restrict yourself the next day or do a ton of cardio to make up for it, but get right back to your habits that next day and keep pushing. This way we're building habits that are going to get us closer to our goals, and we're not constantly restarting. There's no reason to punish yourself or overcompensate for anything. Just get right back into your habits and start again. And one thing that I always find myself saying is progress over perfection. Making progress isn't about being perfect all of the time. That's not realistic. We're human. But what does matter is consistency and doing these things 80 to 90% of the time. And then when we go off the tracks a little bit, being able to get right back on it so we can keep progressing. And the fifth and final thing is stop over-relying on cardio. Don't get me wrong, cardio is great. It's great for your heart health. It's a great form of movement and activity. But so many of us, especially clients that come to me at first that are looking to lose fat, they're like, how much cardio should I be doing? And truly, that should not be our biggest focus. Our biggest focus should first be nutrition, right? Because it's so much easier to get into a calorie deficit by adjusting your nutrition rather than adjusting your cardio. Because let me explain it super quickly. If you're doing, say, 30 minutes of moderate intensity cardio, you're probably going to burn anywhere from 200 to 250 calories. So yeah, that's going to increase our output, but it's so much easier to adjust the amount of intake that you're having to actually make a change. So that's why there's such an emphasis on nutrition and fueling our body, not severely under eating, but being able to fuel our body and be consistent in that. And then weight training, because we're going to burn calories through weight training and actually build muscle so that we can burn more calories at rest, and then movement afterwards. So it's really about finding a form of movement that you enjoy and that you feel like you can do, consistently. That way you can get your activity level up, but it's not necessarily 5 times a week, 30-minute cardio is going to be the answer to actually change your physique. I would recommend prioritizing weight training and nutrition, get in a couple weight training sessions a week, and then use cardio as a supplement if needed, and focus on that step goal. Focus on having some consistent activity level throughout the week. That way you can stay active, stay healthy. So I hope some of these tips resonated with you guys. I feel like once I shifted my mindset towards thinking about my fitness and nutrition goals with this mindset, it changed everything for me. I felt like I wasn't spinning my wheels. And I've said it once and I will say it a million times again, but it is not easy, but it is simple. And I'm always here to help you guys, so reach out to me in my DMs if you guys need any help at all, or leave a comment below. And if you want more support, I'm always here for you. The link for one-on-one online coaching is in the description. Fill out the form and I will reach out to you and we can talk about the best way to move forward. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.